Thing as we've been doing, it's just a little bit more complicated. In order to get rid of x minus b in a denominator, I need 2 times. Yes, exactly. So if I multiply x minus b both sides, that is great because that gets rid of that denominator because it fits perfectly into that once. This times out, we get tx minus tb. So I'm multiplying both by t. I don't know what t is, so I just leave it there. And that equals a. Now I need to remember what I need to get. So both of these are making x the subject. So I want x equals. So I suppose next I would add tb to both sides. Some people would move that across. You can use that as terminology if you wish. And that will leave me with tx is equal to a plus the tb. And then it's divide by t, isn't it? So if I divide by t, this will cancel with this, and we're left with x is just equal to a plus tb all over t. So that was kind of like the ones you just did. This one's going to be a little different because we're going to have to use some factorizing. So remember, if you have a denominator involved, it's a good idea to multiply both sides by it, the common denominator, to get rid of it. So this is going to be the same to start this one. The common denominator is going to be x minus 1. Same as the last one. I want x on its own. So multiply both sides by x minus 1, which is convenient because that will go away with that. And now I have, multiplying this out, I have x times y and 1 times y. So that's, I think I'm left with this as my next line. Now there's a problem here. If I have x's on both sides, it's same as solving, get x's to the same side. Remove one of the x's from one of the sides. I'm going to remove the 3x. I'm going to bring it over this side by subtracting it from both sides. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. That's gone from there. But now I have xy minus 3x minus a y is equal to 2. Okay, at least I have the x's on the same side. The y is not where I want it to be. I want it away from the x's. I only want x's on this side because I want x equal to at the end. So I have xy minus 3x. And I'm going to add y to both sides. So that cancels, and I'm left with 2 plus y. Okay, not quite there yet. I still have a major problem. I have 2 x's. How do I get rid of, how do I get those 2 x's if they cannot be combined because I don't know what y is? How do I get it down to just 1x? Remember, my answer has got to be x equals, which means that somehow I have to combine these two. Divide by y? No. That's just going to, it's a good idea. It'll make this just x, that's good, but it'll make this x divided by y, which is not good. Any ideas? Going to Miles? No? Okay. Look at the start of the question. When I had this here, there was only 1 y. But when I multiplied it out, it ended up with 2 y's. So what would be the opposite to doing that? How could I go back this way? I could use factorizing. It's a common factor. If I factor out the x, that's x then. And what's left behind? Y minus 3 on this side just. I factor out the x. And now I'm just left with 1x. And it's multiplied by something. The x is multiplied by this. So how do I undo that multiplication of all this? Well, I divide by all that. So at this stage, I have to factorize. If I have multiple x's and they do not combine like this, I have to factorize. And then divide by what I've factorized out. That fits into that once perfectly, and now that's on the other side. And this is the answer. So in the ones we're going to put up now in a minute, you're going to see some that you're going to have to factorize to finish it if you have multiple x's that cannot be combined, or just some that are tricky that you have to maybe use a denominator, multiply by a denominator. This is going to be written homework, so I'll get you started on it now. Let's see, where is it? It's also already on ManageBack if that's too small. You have to do 2 parts, any 2 parts from each question. It's only 8 questions. So 2 parts from each question. So that's